Hey everyone, it's Lisa Adams again from Fresh Air Careers, just giving you some tips today about telephone interviewing. I've gotten a number of different questions about that lately, and I wanted to just address some of the differences and the key components that you want to keep in mind when you're doing a telephone interview versus an in-person interview. And don't mind me, I've got some notes here that I want to refer to. I think we'll have some fun with it, and I'll keep it quick. So, a couple things. The telephone interview generally is the pre-screening tool that you will have in order to kind of screen you out. The interviewer will they want to go through a first pass of the candidates, that after they've gone through the resumes, cover letters, that they say, okay, this is the pool of people that I'm going to do a first pass on, and this is what the phone interview is for, to go through that first pass of candidates and see who they want to bring in for a live in-person interview. So your whole goal in this telephone interview is to get the face-to-face interview. So you want to be able to get some basic dashboard data from this client, maybe get a little feel for what this position is that they're talking to you about, to make sure that the position you are interested in is the one that they're calling you about. But basically, your whole goal in this telephone interview is to get the face-to-face interview. So a couple of things to help get you prepared for that telephone interview, and then in order for you to get that face-to-face interview. So exciting. But here you go. What you want to do is have it booked. Generally, an interviewer will book this ahead of time, just like any other meeting. So you'll have it on the calendar. Generally, they're 15 to 45 minutes long. So on average, I would say plan on a phone interview being about 30 minutes. Have in front of you all of your interview prep questions that you should have done and walked through. Any sound bites, branding statements, all that interview prep work that you've already been doing. Have that information in front of you on the desk. Have your phone all set and charged and ready to go. I usually recommend trying to do as much as you can with a landline, so you have no cell problems. Also, be in a spot where there's few, if not none distractions. So if you're at home, get the dog out or the cat out or any other distractions. Close the door so that you can really listen to what the other person is talking to you about. And also, they aren't distracted by the dog barking or something like that. That's what I need to do. My dog needs to be in a cage most of the time. I'm kidding. So also have a bottle of water in front of you. Have your calendar. So if it does go any further for either another phone interview or a face-to-face interview, you've got your calendar in front of you or your PDA, and you know exactly what you want, what you've got available for time to book. A notepad, really important. You want to be able to take notes. Your questions, not only the answers to your interview questions if they ask you questions, but you have a list of questions as well that you want to ask them. And generally, here are some key questions because it's a first pass for you too. You want to find out what's going on. Find out, make sure you know exactly who this person is that you're talking to. Hopefully you will have that before you get on the phone with them. The job title that they are interviewing you for, who this job reports to, that person and their title, generally the division or the department of where this position is reporting to, and also you want to know any other contact information for this person that you're speaking to too, so that you can follow up with them with a thank you after this phone call, whether it's email, a phone number, etc. You want to have all that information ahead of time. Then another key question that may be good for you to ask, and you'll have your own questions that you want to toss out there, but you know, this position that you're being interviewed for, what are some of the key skills or projects that are coming up in the next 3 to 6 months that are going to be critical for this position to be performing to help with the company? And then also another great question, and it kind of ties into a little bit of what I was mentioning earlier, is just where does this position lie in the overall structure of the company, in the importance of the company, and what projects and challenges the company has going on. So there you have it, some key things as far as setting up your space and what kind of questions you want to ask and what the ultimate goal of this telephone interview is. Then secondly, what I would want to kind of go through with you is just some aspects or some techniques to help you with the telephone interview. Not only having a bottle of water, which would be handy for me right now, is good to have, but you want to make sure that you are listening. Because it's not a face-to-face, you don't have those visual cues to pick up on. So you want to really listen to what the person is saying. A good technique to help you with this is to even close your eyes. As you're listening on the phone, close. It helps to pay attention really to what they're saying, and you be more intentional. And so visually you're not distracted with what might be in front of you, in front of your desk. Also, along those lines, because it's not a visual interview, it's a verbal interview, use verbal nods. So they can't see you nod your face when you listen to them on the phone, right? So you have to say when you're on the phone, or I see, or go on, or those little remarks, I understand, things like that will help them know that you are listening to what they're saying and that you're still engaged. Okay, again, along with your voice, be attentive to your voice. Is it too high? Is it too low? Is it too soft? Are you speaking too fast? Are you coming across mumbled? Is it clear and concise? Even add into this, add a smile to your face. Do you feel that you're so stressed on this telephone interview that maybe you're clenching your teeth? So here's another thing, just smile. They can't see your smile, but they'll hear your smile in your tone and how your voice is coming across to them on the phone. So be aware of your voice and how you're carrying that, and also your tone. Monitoring your talking speed and also the amount of time that you're talking. Be aware of how much time you are taking to answer some of these questions, because as I mentioned, generally a telephone interview it can be pretty brief. Take notes as you're going through, so you make sure that you really understand what this person is asking, and then by all means, ask for the interview at the end. Close the deal, right? So what you want to do is, that's an important you could even say something as they're asking another question. That's an important question, and one that I could answer more completely in person. So there's a little lead in to have that person invite you in for a face-to-face interview. So a couple quick things about telephone interviewing. I hope you found them helpful. Some key things to have around you, what you need to have in front of you to be prepared for it, and how to actually carry yourself through the telephone interview. So that's it for today. We'll talk to you more later.